Guys, DJ Jack here once again with you in another video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the animated Night at the Museum movie that hit Disney Plus today, and a brand new hit of the franchise. And I gotta be honest, the animation's incredible. It's really, really good. The movie starts off where this guy gets hired as the night guard, and he sees the historic characters come to life, and he walks into the museum and starts his first night on the job, and he finds out that the characters come to life. He gets so freaked out and runs away and runs out of the museum, and then he doesn't last very long. And then that's where the dad, who was the original night guard from the first three other movies, Ben Stewart is not back as the dad. So it takes him to make a decision when he comes back and as night guard to New York City, because he's getting ready to become a new night guard at the Tokyo Museum in Japan. And so he needs to find who the right person is to take his job. And Teddy Roosevelt and Sacagawea talk to him and say, I think your son Nick should take over the role. So he talks his son into it. His son is basically getting ready to is going into a music career at school. He's in high school. He's a teenager now, and he's trying to get into the music program in high school and trying to find out what he could do for the summer and his interest in music. Like, I love music. He's has a career with music in high school here. So it's really, really cool. After his day at school, his last day at school before the summer, he goes in to see his dad has dinner with him and talks about him trying to get into becoming the new night guard for the new animated museum to take his father's shoes, because his father's getting ready to take a job as a night guard over in Tokyo, Japan, for the Tokyo Historical Museum. So he decides that he's have to talk to his mom to it. They talk about it, and he says he's gonna do it, and his mom doesn't agree at first, but then he said he does agree. She does agree for him to do it. So he starts off his first night, and he sees all the characters coming to life. He knows what he's doing and all. His dad gets him a phone call and says, "Don't forget to lock the basement and lock the shed of the basement or something downstairs." He gets a little scared because there's like creepy things on the wall, and all of a sudden, the guy from Agent Egypt, from the first three other movies that was the main villain, antagonist, he comes back, breaks through the box down in the basement door, where the door Nick is supposed to lock, and he comes back, and they chase, and he runs around, takes the tablet. They have to chase him all around, all the way, and he goes all the way to the New York National Art Museum, and that's where they have to try to get him back. So apparently, when he gets into the New York Art Museum, they have to go try to find George Washington, even though George Washington is only seen with him crossing the Delaware. They jump, in the middle of them chasing him, he jumps into a painting of George Washington crossing the Delaware, and he tries, and George Washington gets a little confused what's going on and stuff, and I'm just in the middle of crossing the Delaware, he said, something like that, he says, and then the guy from the Indian or whatever guy, the emperor keeps running off, and they have to chase him, and it takes them to go. He jumps into going back in time into the painting, jumped into the painting of Agent Egypt. They follow the historic characters, and Nick follows them in there. And this movie also tells you to how Nick has to have confidence in himself and makes him grow that he's the right person for this job. And the historic characters help him out with that. They end up fighting a big crocodile on the way. He goes to open up the Great Springs, the agent guy, and they have to try and fight to get the tablet back. It takes them to go into an army of these guys. And then after that, he finally gets to destroy the guy, and they get the tablet back, and basically They all start celebrating, having a big party at the very end. It's really cool. Nick gets to go back to school and do his historic project, or his career in music, and gets another chance to show his music teacher that he has the chance what it takes to be a DJ or a musician. It's really, really cool. It was definitely a good movie that I enjoyed. You should go see it if you haven't seen it yet. Besides that, this is my review of the Night of the Museum animated movie. If you haven't seen it yet, I recommend you go see it just to see what you guys think. I'm interested to hear your opinions about the movie too. Besides that, I'm DJ Jack, and I'll talk to you guys real soon. Laters. Hit the subscribe button if you love this content.